Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Hey, it's another one of those days where we're doing something. The something we're doing today is for the Lynx S. So a lot of people bought this wheel and like me, they discovered that it is really easy to bottom out. Not exactly sure the root cause of it. If the suspension is proper, I'm thinking, and I'm doing the springs first just because it's a more major thing, but I think probably the weight of the oil is actually all that needs to be changed. So I think they come with 5-weight oil in there, and switching it out for 10 ought to be the right choice. So, but regardless, I have a set of 66-pound Lynx S shocks here, the kind without the preload adjustment at the top. So I'm kind of interested to see how this goes on the inside. I was actually planning on doing this a long time ago, but when I took this thing apart, it was so different from the original Lynx shock that I got discouraged and decided to do it another time. And this is that other time. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to take step one, obviously, take these out of your wheel. Step two is going to be on this big nut. We're going to unscrew both of those and pull the stuff out. I'll probably just do one and then the other. And then probably I'll film everything for the second one because then I'll actually know what I'm talking about. So right now, it's a mystery. So hang in there and I'll tell you more in a second. Okay, this just in. So I discovered how to get to the oil inside of this thing. Oh, by the way, blah, blah, blah. It's not that hard. Might as well tell you what I did. So took a 32 millimeter for the big fat one on top. And you keep using that even as you go on to get to the inside. So the hard part is getting this thing fangled into the little spot in the spring, which is this flat spot right there. And that was a 14 millimeter. So when you get that guy on there, then you unscrew this guy from there. Now I'm looking here at what I'm supposed to be doing, and it looks like it should be pretty straightforward. The new spring doesn't look too different from the old one, and it came apart pretty nice. And there's my clock. So, but what I was saying, this is kind of crazy. So I don't know how well this will show up, so I might need to zoom in on it, but I did a little bit of that, and then all of a sudden, this guy starts popping up, and and there's the oil, and then the oil comes out. So this one might be a wee bit low on oil. Nah, I've got like hummingbird's beak full of oil out there. So I'm going to put her back together and see how she goes. And I won't play with that little piston on the next one. Well, you can watch, I guess. So it is the spring not covered in grease. And got to make sure it gets seated into the right spot down there because don't have a lot of wiggle room because that doesn't go in very far. And got to make sure that the little adjustment stuff all ends up in the right spot. But what is actually interesting, I guess, since we're here, you can see this, the red one is doing the thing there in the middle, I believe. And then the outside one should be doing something a little further outside. So just the direction. When the piston goes, it's restricting oil going past it when it's going down, and then past it when it's going back up. And it has a method for changing that rate that the oil passes, which is the damping. Let me get this going. Okay, now that I know what I'm doing, I will show you the whole process. So, shock. This part I could skip because we already sort of did it. You might need to use a vise if I have really oily hands. I think I can usually, the first one I did by hand, but it ain't working like that anymore. So let's see. I have a vise, but it's back in the shop. I got to do this like a man. Come on. I am the vise. Let's see. Let's put that down to about there. Okay. Okay, bad time to start a video. Let's try that again. Well, I thought this was going to be an impact-free day. I was wrong. My bench vise is occupied, so I have to get this off like this, which there's nothing wrong with using this, except for if it doesn't work. It works. All right. This time you get to see the full start to finish mammo jammo. So one thing that's weird, this 14 millimeter wrench, the spring is in the way, so you get a narrow one, but as you're unscrewing things, the spring wants to push the wrench down, which kind of made me realize something that was a little bit, I don't know, I'll call it a hack for putting this thing back together. So getting it back together was an ordeal, but it was doable. So, oh, that wasn't on there. Let's try that again. Ew, wahinis. Anybody that doesn't know Earth Girls Are Easy, you should go watch it now. This video will still be here tomorrow. Okay, let's do that differently. We'll go from this spot then. This has much less of a good bite on the whole thing, but oh God, it's disgusting. Okay, so now I have to try to get this unscrewed, but instead of using, now I need to get a paper towel or napkin. Boom. Napkins. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. All right, so we're gonna put it back on this guy for that feeling of feedback. We are on loosen and I think I turned that off, but it didn't strip the thing or anything. I just barely had any bite on the wrench. So let me try to find a better spot for it. Can also get a little hold of something and turn the whole thing. It's like the spring separate from everything else. And which is kind of what you want to do in the end. You want to sort of not let the spring keep turning because it'll keep pushing the wrench off of this nut thing, whatever it is. This thing with the flat section. I can't even see where the flat section is. There it is. Boom. So I can go right in this way. That is not wanting to get on there. It's the spring, just 100% the spring in the way. So I'm not really hurting anything. People get concerned about my granite stuff. So now what I'm gonna do is turn this spring the opposite direction. So now it's got a little bit of force up, so it's not gonna fall out. And then I can do all of the rest of this. So let's see, if I turn this way, it will try to turn this into a triangle, which I can defeat by pushing down at the base of the triangle here. And we are good. Okay. Feels silly swinging this big thing, especially once it gets easy like that. Much better. So, part 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever part we're on, I don't know, but the spring is now free to move about the cabin. It's on there because, like I said, I used this like I'm going to be using this little trick later. So there's my 66-pound springs. That's odd. It's got something going on. Maybe there was some air left in there or something. Anyway, I'm going to just call it good. Take the new spring, drop it in place, and then I'm going to do that trick that I said that I discovered, which I don't think I could have gotten this thing together without using this little trick, which is just slot that on the way it needs to be slotted on, and then start turning the spring to get the spring compressed. And obviously it'll be pretty tough to remove the wrench when I'm done, but it's a lot easier that way than not doing that. I think I might have put a little too much pressure there, because you still need to be able to get this thing centered. So maybe let's take a little bit out of my spring tension. That's looking better. Okay. Not guaranteed that's enough, but I'm going to give it a try. So need to be able to push in. Oh yeah, and you can't push in from that high up. So I will take more of this out because I need to be able to push below, because part of the spring hides in there, so you don't want that in the way. So let's do this again. That was so easy. Yeah, wouldn't believe how much trouble I had the first time on the other shock getting that done. And we're getting close to needing this guy. Okay. Now we'll try to get a good one in there before this wrench pops off. Okay, and now you can put a little downward pressure on that. Get that guy out. Oh yeah, that's it. Now, didn't take me long. I did both springs, and the only thing left to do is stick them in the wheel and give her a go. We'll see how that feels. Anyway, been fun, been real, and hope that you guys enjoy your Lynx S as much as me, because that thing is a freaking rocket ship. It's a good time. Bye-bye.